From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to continue to see a lot of that morning mountain valley fog, especially Trinity, Western Siskiyou, Del Norte, Humboldt counties. The valley, the Sacramento Valley, is going to have a harder time with that fog here as we go into tomorrow morning and really through the weekend. And we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail. Now, we do have a slight temperature drop this weekend, but temperature is kind of going back up again. And chances for showers next week, yes, but it's not looking all that promising as far as a lot of rainfall, right? We're not going to see much. Now, there's a look at the rest of your day. I do think a lot of that fog that we're seeing in the valley is going to really just burn off here pretty quickly here as we do go through the afternoon if it persists. For those of you that are seeing that fog persist, it should burn off here later on this afternoon. But, you know, sometimes this fog, it can really hold on pretty strong. So it just depends on your conditions. Otherwise, we're looking at mainly sunny skies in the mountains and gorgeous weather. So let's talk about that fog here. So again, as we go into the afternoon, you see how it does, at least the model's picking on it burning off. However, later this evening and tonight, we may see that fog redevelop. So I think places like Chico may see fog through, you know, as we go into this evening and into tonight. However, look what's happening to the fog as we go into tomorrow morning. It's dissipating. And there's a reason for that because it looks like the winds may pick up as we go into Saturday morning. Let's talk about that for a second. So you can see here for today, the winds actually do pick up a little bit, less in the way of that wind for places like Chico and Oroville, and that's why it may be more easier for that fog to kind of stick around and develop later tonight. But look at tomorrow morning. We're talking winds on an average about 10 miles per hour. That is strong enough to scour out any fog that tries to develop. And that's why I'd anticipate there to be basically zero fog as we go into Saturday morning. And then Sunday, we're seeing more clouds move in. That may also impede some of that cloud development. Meanwhile, we have low pressure to our south. That's what's been giving us the cloud cover over the last few days. That's moving out. High pressure is moving in as a result, and we are left with mainly sunny skies. And we're going to be looking at that here through the weekend. However, by Sunday, more clouds will be moving on in, and this is where things get tricky because high pressure is going to be just off to our east. That may be just strong enough to prevent any rain from really moving in. However, you can see there, it just may clip Northern California. And that's, again, has everything to do with just how strong that ridge of high pressure is next Tuesday night and Wednesday. The stronger the ridge is, the smaller the chances for rain. The weaker it is, the more it pushes to the east, the better the chances for rain. And it just depends on which model you look at as well, because the European forecast model is a little bit more aggressive with bringing rain for everybody on Wednesday, whereas the GFS is like probably just the Northwest. So it's been very iffy, although I will say the track record of the GFS tracking this potential for rain has been a little bit more in line with what's actually going to happen. So I just don't anticipate to see much. And then you can see, look at that, by Thursday of next week, even into that next Friday, at least the GFS wants to keep that ridge of high pressure in place, keeping us fairly dry. In fact, we looked at this yesterday, and it was showing chances for rain through next Wednesday for all of Northern California. But look at it now. I'm a little bit more in alignment with this now. Based on what I'm seeing here, what I have been seeing, this is what I think is going to be the best potential moving forward here. Heaviest along the coast. It begins to diminish as you head eastward. Slim chance for some sprinkles elsewhere east of that. But otherwise, nothing measurable most likely. So look at your forecast for the rest of the day today. Now again, we're going to have to watch for that development of that fog if it doesn't already burn off before then for places like Chico, Willows, and Oroville here for tonight. But by tomorrow morning, that should all pretty much be done with. And then it's cold tonight. Look at the mountains. 14 for Alturas, 17 and 10, and 22 in Weed, Mount Shasta 24. Even cold along the coast in the mid to upper 30s tonight. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day forecast region by region. Starting with the valley, I think we can see some of that morning fog once again. And of course, we're looking at Friday, right? We saw that this morning, right? As we go into the weekend, the chances are going to be much slimmer for that. Then you can see on Wednesday, I put the word chance in there. Don't count on it. That's all I got to say right now. I think the better chances will be on the coast, inland, and for Trinity County next Wednesday. Western Siskiyou County, I think, has a better chance than, say, central and eastern Siskiyou County. Modoc County, you've got probably the smallest chance, as well as the eastern mountains. But otherwise, looking at dry conditions as we go into your Thursday as well. All right, that is a look at your afternoon update. I'll be back again this evening for your evening update on this Friday. We're going to go into that deeper dive forecast as well with the latest forecast model data. Have yourselves a great afternoon.